Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Planets in Navamsa series. And today we are going to be covering Mars in the second house of Navamsa chart. And what happens when Mars is in the second house in your D9 Navamsa chart, which is the most important chart in Vedic astrology besides the birth chart. It kind of shows the heart of your planets. It kind of shows the path of the soul. It shows the development. How are you going to be developed in this life? So you can't judge that all throughout the birth chart. You're gonna fail, man. You have to, especially after you're married and the age of 36. Navamsa is more important. So now you got Mangala, Kuja, Mars in second house. And do you know it's not really nice to use the word Kuja in a reading for person? Kuja is not a good, it's like a Mars feels insulted with the word Kuja. Mangala is what Mars really likes to be heard by. Okay. But when you have Mars in the second house in Navamsa, bickering, fighting, arguing, it's just going to be part of your life. So, you know, when you see those married couples, they fight, they argue, they come back, they have great passionate lovemaking, then they go back to fighting and bickering. That's number one thing we see with this Mars. The other thing we see is that you will try to take control of your family's wealth. You will feel agitated if you're not respected in your family. You're like, I want to be respected. I want to be looked at as the macho person who needs to control everything that everybody has in this family. So this is not really the most sound position for Mars to be in. Mars always brings in wasteful spending, but also impulsive spending. Like you saw a couch, you already have a couch, but it's just the most gorgeous couch, and you're like, screw it. It's only been 3 months, but so what? It was only $600 couch. Let me just get the $1,600 of one. You'll get that, even though you really didn't need it. Most definitely a person is promiscuous with Mars in the second house, especially if you have Mercury in the 7th house, while Mars in the second house can make a person quite promiscuous. And this is the Mars that, especially when your children are born, you will yell at your children. For little things, you will yell at your children. And then your children will rebel against you later in age. So watch out when you scream at children and yell at children. Your speech becomes harsh. Not only with marriage, but especially when you have your firstborn. Speech becomes like just agitated, always agitated. Like, why? What are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Just control. Okay. But the thing is, obviously, this is a foundational level depending upon the sign. Mars' level of energy and agitation will either go up or will go down. It'll always be there. You cannot ignore that. What I said here, word for word, you can't just say, oh, my Mars is in Capricorn or Taurus or Gemini. Oh, no, it's okay. It's not a bad Mars. Regardless if it's a good or bad Mars, this foundation will be there. How high of this level of this vibration will be there or how low, that's all the sign does. But Mars is sitting in the second house, number one. But Mars makes you, like I said, you are sexually very active, very strong. and at the same time quite promiscuous. You may have a little bit of a wandering eye. So what? You know, like this, there's a saying, you can look, but you cannot touch. So look, that's fine. Nothing's wrong with looking, just don't touch. You get burned when you touch, right? I know about you right there, I know. You're smiling. Just don't touch. Also, what I see is that you will always try to impress your in-laws by showing them how strong you are, how great of a person you are, what a powerful person you are in your career, in your office. You don't need to do that. They don't care for it. People don't care for it. But it occurs. And especially as soon as you get married, you're going to try to take over your father's role. You will have a lot of fights and bickering with your father. Differences of opinion with the father, gurus. You will argue astrologers with this Mars. You will challenge astrologers, argue with astrologers, try to vilify astrology in a way. Even if you love astrology, you'll try to vilify it. Like, look, this person doesn't know anything, I know more than them, or you're completely wrong, you shouldn't be doing this, gone. I need somebody else better. Usually, even if this person gets the best reading, they will somehow find a flaw in it. They're just never going to be satisfied with a reading from an astrologer. The other thing we also see, although this really depends upon the ascendant you really have, but with some common ascendants, your spouse and you will always fight over who controls the bank account, who should be taking money out of the bank account, who should be spending money from the bank account. And I always advise people who have Mars in the second house, please have separate bank accounts. No joint accounts. Have separate bank accounts. Have one joint account that you won't care about if your spouse uses it 90%, but have your own account so you don't bicker and fight. That's a very, very good solution there. But remember, Mars is like, it's passion, it's fight, it's control, it's lust, it's sexual energy, everything that's being valued here. Like you don't want a relationship where just the other person's subservient and whatever you say they do. No, you want some counteraction. That's what you want internally. Okay. So anyway, guys, this is my analysis of Mars in the second house in Navamsa chart. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below if you want to know where your Mars is placed. All the other astrological details, my books, reports, consultations, and including information on my school. Check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.